Hello, I'm Ben Branam with Modern Self-Protection, and this is 5 Minute Friday, a quick tip to help keep you safe. So today, I went to Walmart as COVID crazy is ending and got a treat for my kid because, well, he finished the 5th grade and he's ready to move on to middle school. Yay, happy, right? And as I'm coming out with, ice cream and some other miscellaneous stuff, somebody approached me from behind, and at first I was like, hey, go away. He was a little bit persistent. I started to get in the car, and he got me at like the worst part because he's coming up from behind like he was going to get in the car behind me, and then he didn't. He walked by that car and came through the cars to me, and I had my car backed in. Well, the door was open. I was sitting down and putting my groceries in the bag next to me, ready to jump in the car, when he started talking to me, and I was like, this is weird. And so my first instinct was, I got to fight. And the first thing I did was come up with a quick plan on how to do that. Is that where you go first? Is that what you're thinking about first? Yes, I came up with a quick plan. I had both feet still on the ground, but my butt was in the seat, but this bag of heavy groceries was in my hand, and the door was in my other hand to sit down. So the door was blocking my escape that way, and I couldn't go anywhere besides close and lock the door, and this guy was coming up behind me. So I stared at him, and quick plan. Couldn't get to my weapon fast enough, but I had the bag of groceries in my hand. If he came beyond my lines and crossed them, I was going to hit him with the bag of groceries and then draw my gun on him. You got to come up with those plans really quick, like in a hurry. Do you practice coming up with those plans? Are you ready for something like that? I know that was weird that this guy was approaching me in the parking lot, and honestly, it had to do with the church sticker in the back of my wife's minivan. Yes, we only have the minivan right now. We're short one car, and so we're just using it. COVID crazy, we're not going anywhere, so we don't need another car right now. So, yeah, I got the minivan. It's got our church sticker in the back, and the guy's asking me about the church. He's like, excuse me, and it was different than most people that beg and ask and borrow, so I kind of paused, and I didn't tell him just to go away right away. And then he wanted to talk to me about the church a little bit and ask questions and where he could go and stuff. So I gave him a little bit of rundown on it. And he when I told him to stop, he stopped right there. He didn't get any closer. So he's still a car length away, because he was at the back of my car and I'm at the front. Not a lot of good choices there. If the guy had drawn a weapon on me, if it was a knife, I was in there. If it was a gun, nowhere to go because I'm between cars. He caught me in a really, really horrible spot. So a little after action there, I need to be a little bit more on top of who's following me where. And just because the car's there doesn't mean I have to get in. I should have walked by my car and then kept going so that I could have confronted this guy with room to maneuver. When you're in between your two cars and the door is open, you've got nowhere to go. And I had nowhere to go. Yes, every once in a while it happens to all of us where we get stuck in something like this. But are you paying attention? Do you notice when you get stuck like that? And do you do a quick after action? This is actually my after action to tell you, hey, don't be like me. Don't do that. Make sure you pay attention to the people around you. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, find out why. And this is where I kind of screwed up my own thing. The guy started following me a little bit, and I asked that question, what are you doing here? Well, he had Walmart groceries in his hand. I saw him at the checkout counter. He just checked out too. He's walking out. He walked behind me, and he walked in. And then as he turned down the same aisle I was to split two cars, I was like, ooh, why is this guy following me? And then I went, because that's his car right there, because he pulled out his keys like he was going to get in. And I was like, set, easy, right? Well, it turns out that was his car, but he wanted to talk to me first. So my questions about, and this is the question I tell you to ask about everybody, is what are they doing there? I needed to go a little bit further. What was he doing there? Yeah, he was going to get in his car and he was shopping at Walmart. But I missed where he pulled out his key and looked at his car to get in and then walked by it to ask me a question. I need a little bit of more awareness there, right? And it was funny, after I talked to him for a second, told him where the church was and when he could find out and go, he did get in that car and drove off behind me. So, my what if game wasn't perfect. It had a little flaw in there. So I'm sharing this with you so that you can see if your what if game has a little flaw. And then if you get to that point, can you come up with that plan really, really fast? And are you scary enough and I was staring at this guy and eyeballing him down. I'm surprised he even still had the guts to ask me about the church. I feel bad because obviously he was just trying to ask me about the church. He wasn't meaning any harm. But, hey, at first I was like, wait a second. And it's hard to tell with everybody has a mask on, right? This guy had a mask on, just like everybody's supposed to be doing social distancing. He had some tattoos up and down his arms, some full sleeves, skinny white guy, about 5'5", 175 pounds, 5'8", somewhere in there. And I'm substantially bigger than he is, but he was younger than me. He's in his early 30s. So, yeah. Sized him up, came up with it. I was looking for a weapon, staring, waiting for him to do something, and I was going to attack. I would have thrown my grocery bag at him and then gone for my own gun because, well, I'm always armed. What about you? So I just thought I'd share that with you and let you know, hey, where my awareness was screwed up a little bit today. Do you do those after actions when you find out, get yourself in that spot? You should. Anytime you find yourself in a little after action, in little things like that, even you almost had a car accident, do you after action that and say, hey, how could I have avoided this whole problem? So I gave you my little after action. I should have just walked through the cars and kept going. I shouldn't have stopped. Shouldn't have gotten in the car. Should have kept going to make sure to find out what this guy was doing. So think about that next time. Do a little after action anytime anything gets your hackles up, anytime anything is weird, anytime you almost get hurt, anytime anything happens, do a little after action. How could have you done it better? What sign did you miss? And how could you head it off before you get there? Well, thank you for watching. I'm Ben Branam with Modern Self-Protection, and you can find more great stuff like this at modernselfprotection.com. Thanks for watching.